And I'm Carla Davis Luster, and welcome to the Us Review. Here is where I discuss both sides of a controversial topic, posted on all platforms, randomly on IG, Facebook, and probably I want to say sometimes I tweet out about it. But tonight I'm on TikTok. And I am very happy to be here. So I'm going to ask you guys that are joining me to please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'll be on here, trying to be on here every week on Tuesdays, talking about a very, very hot topic. I must say today's topic is actually a very juicy one. And man, have I heard so many discussions around this subject. So many couples, you can be sitting around with some friends talking or whatever setting, and you get on this subject. You have every answer from 0 to 100, from people agreeing, disagreeing about it, people saying that it's okay, some people saying that it's not okay. But before I spill the tea, I'm going to recap about last week's topic. It was also a good one, and I got a lot of comments, people hitting me up, DMing me about it. It was called Love Times 2. Can you love two people? It's season 1, episode 2. If you want to go back and watch it, it is posted on my YouTube page, Ask Carla. Just type in soulmates and you'll be able to find me. And I would recommend that you go back and look at that. Soulmates was season 1, episode 1. Season 1, episode 2 was Can You Love Two People? So all of them are very good, juicy topics that you want to just go back and, listen to them and maybe have conversations with your spouse. But mainly on the Us Review, I talk about relationships and things and situations that people go through in their relationship. In a nutshell, last week, let me get to that. I discussed answers about surrounding both sides of the coin, meaning that yes, you can possibly be in love with two people, and I discussed no. Some of the feedback and some of the things that I discussed and talked about was, I'll talk about the things when I said yes. It was more that it was probably a non-traditional type acting person, and they were basically a free-spirited person that was rewriting their own script, and if they were in love with the two people, it was a possibility that they loved the two people for two different reasons, that these people were meeting two different needs. I also gathered information and I shared with you about people that were answering, saying that no, you cannot. That is, that's impossible. You cannot do it. And mainly a lot of the information that I gathered around people saying no, they followed a more traditional and religious format way of living. In conclusion, the bottom line is what I said is that your relationship has to work for you. It has to make you happy. And hopefully whoever you're involved with or whatever type of situation that you're in, hopefully everyone that's involved is not blind to the parameters of what's going on. So it's up to you guys to communicate and talk about it, but your relationship should definitely make you happy. But back to today's topic, and it's definitely a juicy one. It's called Opposite Sex Friendships. Is it healthy for someone in a relationship to be friends with someone of the opposite sex? Is that a challenge when you're in a relationship? Today's preface is taken from my novel that I talk about every week. It's entitled The Woman Tells. It's from chapter 3, entitled Continued Sinful Bliss. In this chapter, it continues with the wife's intimate encounters with her paramour. Her excitement takes a twist and spins into some drama when this guy she's messing around with starts to show his true colors and the capabilities of him exemplifying the same behaviors that she's having with her husband, the same issues. So let me ask you this. Is the grass greener on the other side? Hello for everyone that's tuning in. Let me ask you this. So if that is the case, then, did she get into a better situation, or did she, just jump from the frying pan into the skillet? However, let me take this opportunity and I'm going to read you a clip from my novel. Once again, here's my novel. It is titled The Woman Tells. Here's the back. You can purchase it on Amazon. You can get it on Barnes & Noble online, and also it's on my website, which is askcarladl.com. So I just wanted to take the time to show you this. And let me read just a clip of chapter 3, Continued Sinful Bliss. We ate dinner, or shall I say, junk food. Shortly after, we began to talk about our issue. They're having issues. He had this way of making you feel like the point you were trying to make was totally incompetent, silly, and really was your fault. Turning it around. The conversation was full of his saying, that is not the way it went. You are making things more complicated than they have to be. He told me that he does not like confrontation, and if there were anything important he felt I should know, he had no problems with sharing it with me. Okay. He asked if we could pick this up later because a couple of his friends showed up. To be specific, we were out with some of his friends. He had started to bring me around his inner circle. He was a very private person. So in my mind, I must have met the move forward, she's special approval. So at this point, her paramour, the guy that she's like seeing on the side, he's starting to bring her around people that he hangs out with. So, she's thinking that she's pretty special. However, the night was going so well, the circle he moved in was very co-ed. Everyone happily enjoying themselves, talking shit, and making the best of a great thing. Of course, there's always one glitch to mess up your night. So I'm going to, at this point, here I describe some of his friends. Hello, everyone that's tuning in. We're talking about opposite sex friendships. Can you be in a relationship and have a friend of the opposite sex? I'm reading from my novel, The Woman's House, just a clip of it, which I always take a preface from the book. Of course, there's always one glitch to mess up your night. A wannabe important motherfucker who won't shut up, or he's annoying, so that's the annoying friend. You got this leechy bastard showing up empty-handed but wants everything. Someone shows up, you know how you have a party and everyone's supposed to bring something. This particular person never brings anything. Or a B who's hoping to become significant in your man's space. There's always, when it's co-ed, it always seems like there's someone, another, whatever. It could be male or female, standing around hoping to get with that person that you're with. Anyway, can he be, who's hoping to become significant in your man's space? I'm sorry. Can he be called your man? Can you guess which one kicked off the evening? Anyway, the one I zeroed in on, of course, was the wannabe significant B, of course, the woman. I noticed that her girlfriend she had with her was acting very shady and unfriendly towards me. You always know what's up in a posse by the weakest link in the group who can't hold it together enough to play something off. Nothing, of course, the male gender or your so-called man would recognize to be strange, because what he'll probably say, whatever you're saying is not there. These are my friends, and that's not the way it is. So that's The Woman's Tales, and that's the preface that I took. And we are talking about, can you have a friend of the opposite sex if you're in a relationship? So with that said, I just read from the book on what's going on there. Let me ask you this. Can anyone really in a relationship, let alone a married couple, have a healthy relationship with someone of the opposite sex? Let's talk about that. I think that you actually could. However, you have to make sure that there are ground rules and all of the parties that are involved, you, your spouse or partner or whomever else, and that friend are clear on what kind of relationship it actually is. Who are the three parties? Once again, you got to make sure everybody's, on the same page. In the relationship, I think that whoever has the friend, depending on who has the friend, you have to make sure that everyone is explained the rules, and that, first of all, the partner with the friend, you have to make sure that the person that is the friend is not, that they understand that the relationship is platonic, that they're not on the sidelines, just causing problems and everything with that, and doing things, undercover to push the person that you're with off, that they understand we are friends, and this is what it is. You might have good intentions, but that friend might be very hopeful depending on what's going on. So you want to be very, very clear. And if they are not on the same page, maybe it's not good that you have them as a friend. I'm losing jewelry here. Anyway, we'll keep going. Also, another thing that's very important, you want to make sure that you limit the contact, the physical contact, hugging and the kissing, all on the cheek and stuff like that. Because here's what can happen. Depending on the way you carry yourself with that friend and the different things that you allow them to do and how much rope that you give them, in your life and in, what they can do with you, you could really, once again, be giving them the wrong impression and giving them the impression that you do, there is something going on with you. And last but not least, you can be inciting jealousy in the person that you're with. Hello, everyone that's tuning in. You can be inciting jealousy, and that would obviously cause a problem. So you don't want to be doing things to lead that friend on. And here's what I see a lot. Let me just say this. Everyone knows, like, when you get with a person or, you start up a relationship or you're in a relationship, that the person that you're in a relationship with obviously, have had friends, before you, prior to you, they could have had someone they grew up with or whatever else. That's fine and dandy, but you have to make sure that there is no, what shall I say, funny business, or that that you always make sure that the person that you're with is respected. And here's the other thing that I find sometimes becomes a problem. That friend that you have, you sharing your personal information with them, and depending on what happens in the situation, they could use that information against you and cite other issues within your relationship should your person that you're with find out about it. So you want to be careful on what you're sharing and just how much you are doing with that person. But the biggest thing is making sure that everyone is on the same page. You want to definitely make sure that you're honest and that your intentions are clear and that you're not just carrying on. And here's another thing that I've seen. You want to make sure that that friend that you're hanging out with, or the friend, is not someone that you're just keeping around because they have some type of a qualification or something within them that your partner lacks, and you're making up for it by being with them. So just make sure that your intentions are good and everyone knows, what is going on. Now, let me say this. Back to season 1, episode 1. It is very important that you, up front, you discuss and share your expectations. You share your likes and your dislikes. You communicate them. And, if there's an issue with, you having a problem with your significant other, spouse, partner, being friends with the opposite sex, then you want to share that and you guys need to talk about it. And somewhere, if your partner is seeing it differently, somewhere you guys got to come to some type of a happy medium and compromise. But make sure that your feelings and everything are discussed and they're explained up front. Now, I know that you love your spouse or whatever else, and you love that person that you with, and you don't want to have unnecessary problems that don't have to be. But I really do feel that you can be in a friendship with, once again, the opposite sex, as long as there are ground rules and as long as everyone is above, keeping it above board, and there's no, innuendos and just hidden agendas and all that. It's not a part of it. Then I think that you can have, a really, really good friendship, and possibly the person you with can be friends with them as well. Now, let me talk about the other side of the coin. Maybe you are the spouse and on the receiving end of what's going on. Speaking that your partner, your spouse, or whatever has a friend, and you are the person that is having to accept it. Let's be clear. You want, once again, you want to make sure that you have shared your feelings on this, and you want to make sure that you are not just, someone that has brought baggage to the relationship, and you're, just, looking through it with a stained glass and just creating something that's not there, meaning that, you're observing their friendship and you're like looking at it that, creating things that, once again, like I said, is not fair. Is that it's very important that you be objective and you listen to what your friend, your spouse is saying, and that you're not bringing your own insecurities and preconceived ideas into what is actually going on. And when you discuss it, make sure that you are, legitimately, you have a legitimate reason why you have a concern with the friendship. Now, keep in mind, once you discuss it, of course, there is going to be a rebuttal from your spouse or the person that you're with. And don't be upset if they come back to, share with you just some things and that's within yourself that's coming out that is actually, inadvertently pointing out that it's an area of insecurity. So the bottom line is that you guys want to talk about it. You want to make sure that both of you are comfortable, because you are the important ones in this situation. It is your relationship that's being affected. So you want to make sure that you're both comfortable and you're coming to an agreement. You want to communicate, everything that's going on within you, and you should be upfront and honest. Now, also make sure the person that's having the issues is that it's not something that has been, from your upbringing and your beliefs, and you're just, imposing this on the relationship. Once again, both of you, could have come from two totally different backgrounds, where the one with the friend, maybe they came from a very kumbaya, everybody get along, everybody do everything together, whatever else. And you're more so on a very close-knit, introverted type, came from a more introverted type of, upbringing. So somewhere, once again, you guys got to merge and come to a happy medium, have that discussion. But back to last week's topic, loving two people, non-traditional and the traditional way of thinking, it's all in what makes you happy, what your relationship is. And like going back to last week, like I discussed, it is very important. Once again, the biggest thing is the communication, sharing your expectations, being upfront, and being very honest about everything. I want to thank you for tuning in to the Us Review. Today we've talked about opposite sex friendships. Can you be have a friendship when you're in a relationship and not, you're not having any issues or whatever else? So if you get the opportunity, you want to share about the Us Review. I'd like for you to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me at Ask Carla across most platforms. I thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions and you want to continue this discussion offline, please hit me up, DM me. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Once again, this is the Us Review, and I am Carla Davis Luster. Thank you, and have an amazing night in relationship. Take care. Bye-bye.